Hello everybody, this is Simeonski. Welcome to another Rec Room tutorial. In this one, I'm gonna explain to you one of the mechanics that I used in my games and also show you how you can build this mechanic into your game step by step. Okay, this simple game mechanic I'm using in my game, The Precious Pearl. And it is basically a randomizer. We want to use randomized things here. And what we will do is, of course, we will keep this easier than it looks here now. Good evening. It tells me a beer. She wants to buy a beer. So we go here, pick up the beer, give it to her. Oh, and he's leaving and someone else is coming. We will not do this with these animations. We will do it in a very simple way. And yeah, this is in a very simple way what we will build now from scratch. So let's go to our maker room. So what do we want to build here? As always, I want us to start off with a trigger volume. Say we put this here. And basically I want to keep it as simple as possible. I will put a button over there that will spawn a random prompt, basically. So we'll keep it easy for now. We will have, you can add more objects of course with this system, but we will now have 3 different objects here that we will bring to the thing, and if you put the right object in there, then it will basically trigger and you will get 1 point. Let's do it like this. You will get 1 point if you put the right object in. We will not make a safety for it, so if people go here and pick up 2 objects, drop it in and one is the right one, whatever, that's fine. Yeah, just for now. You can put safeties of course, but you will want to, in the example that you saw, we had like 6 different objects that were there, so if people take 2 and put them in, no problem. You don't need a safety for that. So we will start with a button here. Yeah, and of course you can do this differently. You saw the example was more complex, but I want to show you the very basics of it. The basic thing that I want to explain to you here is now basically the randomizer. So what does this button do? So very important for this is that we will have a list. And you will use list create. So we will need this list for a lot of different things. But maybe mainly to get a string from this list. So what I like to do string format. I like to do, because for me it's more clear what is happening, is to put a string format in this first, so the list will become a string list, and then you can add your strings here. This is especially important if you add new strings here and then for some reason you disconnect the list from what's coming up here, you will lose these items here. So it's good to have the string format in one thing, so the list knows it's a string list and doesn't delete anything that you put in there. And then we have the thing that's called random. It's called random from list. And this is something we want to do first when we push this button. So we push the button. First thing, it gets a random object from this list here and puts out one of these objects we put in here. And let's say we have keep it easy. Cube. I will do this now with strings, because you will be able to use these strings also for other things in this whole setup. You could also use do a list not with strings but with numbers, and then compare the numbers over here. But that will work a little bit differently. We will combine several things here to make it as simple as possible, basically. So let's say we will have a cube that we can put in. We will have cube, wedge, like we did in the example before. You can add some more inputs here. And the very important thing is here that it will be random, so this will make it more, so you can put way more objects here in this, because they will come out random. Just for the sake of simpleness, let's say I will just put 3 here now, but you can put up to 50, I think, in one list here, if you want to do that. And we do the pyramid again. So like we had it already before, so now the inputs will be cube, wedge and pyramid. And as you see, when I click this, there's a random output here. Okay, but now we want to tell the person what this box wants. We can do this with a subtitle. I will do this with a subtitle now. Oh no, we do it with a text on the wall for now. Just that you see. You can use different ways to do that. You can have subtitles, you can have this bigger subtitles. It's not called subtitles, I forgot what it was called. But for now we want to have the text maybe over this box. And what we want to do here is we want to use a string as well, and we want to use a string variable. This is important because we want to use this to sync whatever this says to our box over here. It's it's not totally different system. If it's in the same room, it can be the same system, but it's not connected. So it's a thing that if people put things in here, will be unconnected from this circuitry over here. So what we want to do, we will set whatever random thing is coming from here, we put it into this string variable, and we call it, for this example, I call it box, because we want to put things in this box over there. Submit. Okay, now what you want to do is, if it's just a thing for one person, or everyone has to bring their own stuff, so it's different for every person, then you want to keep everything as it is. If everyone has to find, for example, you have a game where people are looking for some hidden objects in a room, could be a good use case for this, and you have like 10 objects, they are somewhere hidden in the room, and it says bring this object here. Then you would want to have the synced variable activated for this. I will keep it unactivated for now, but just that you know what this does. Okay, and then basically we can make another string thing, and that would be a string format. And this string format, basically what it does, it sets the text of our text box over here. So you can do it, of course, in a way that you want it, but I want to use the exact verb that is here, and then make a sentence. For example, you can put here, of course you can phrase that better. I phrased it differently in my game, but if you use this, you might come up with some problems. In German I had some problems with this. In English it's quite easy, but you will see later why this is. Yeah, put here, and then we put 0, which means this taking this value over here, and that's it. And the result of this will go into our text, and we will have to trigger the set text, so it will set the text to the value. So let's try this already. So put here, you see, permit, wedge. So it's changing. It's randomly giving you different different values, basically. So now what we want to do is just what I showed you before already, for the in the last video. We will have the cube. We will have the wedge. And we will have the permit. Here it is. Or the cone. You can also call it a cone. Alright. So, this I already showed you before. We will use it by making this physical. Put the tag. And important is here now, because I want to connect these things to make it very easy, very streamlined, basically, especially if you have a lot of objects. It should be grabbable. That you want to use there. You can save a lot of time and heartache, basically, if you use exactly the same tags for your objects that you use here in this list. You will see later why this is so important. It's basically for you to save a lot of time. You can do this, of course, in another way. Like, it's very possible to do this in whatever way you want to do that. But the way I'm showing it to you here, let's move this away so it's not confusing us here. This is the text for this text box. But because we have this value here now, that we can use, we can set up a very, very easy system using this value over here that will change all the time. Alright, let's set this up. It's very easy. You take we take this string variable over here that will be changed by pressing this button, and then we do what you already learned in a video before. We do exactly the same. We take if chip, and then the second should be if hashtag, and we let this box check if the object that is put in has the right tag. In this case, it should have the tag that will be set by this system over here. So we get the tag name. It has to be exactly the same as the tag that is on there. And if it has the tag, something happens. And what I want to do is to put this value, this box value, to 0. So you can only put it in once, then you have to push the button again, pick up another thing, put it in. But we can also do, what we shouldn't forget is to have this respawn, maybe in a not so, let's give it 2 seconds, not too long, so it's going back to little bit of time it needs, so it can trigger, let's say 2 seconds to respawn. That's fine. It's a good time for this example now. Yeah. And you can always try to find different ways that you can use the system for. This is just one example how it could work in a very easy way. There's a lot of different use cases for a system like this. So what it does now is, if you enter the object, it takes the tag from this box, which is now, because I didn't push the button yet in this example, nothing. And so basically it doesn't have the tag, nothing is happening. And if it has the right tag, we want the counter. Let's put a text box here for that. And let's say we count how often you put the right object in there, just by putting a number over here. Very easy. You use the integer variable. You don't even have to give that a name, but it's always good to set special names for these things, so you can remember what you use it for. I call it counter now. Alright, it's called counter. And basically, you go here, use the add chip, bam. And so this triggers only once now, because the string will be removed. Let's see if this works. I haven't tried it yet. And we basically use the add variable. So it will add 1, and then you have to use the simple toString function. String. And set the second text here to the number. Bam. Take it from the counter, put it as a string. Here we go. That's how you set it up. Let's see if it works. I will put away my macro pin now, and I will still keep all these on so you see what's happening. If I put it in, it should stop already here, because this doesn't have the tag nothing. If I put it down, it should respawn in 2 seconds. 2 seconds are a long time. Now it's responding. Okay, it's just an example. Maybe you make it to 1 second. That's not the easiest way. So let's go. So this gives me the random thing permit. Now if I put this in, nothing should happen. Yep. And if I put in the permit, it should put a 1 on here. See? Yes. And if I do it again, nothing is happening, because I have to reset this. And now it wants the cube. Put the cube in. It's putting a 2. So that's how you build a very simple random object system. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like and subscribe the video if you liked it, or leave a comment. You can also leave comments on what you want to see more on this channel. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.